Hello children, in the last video we have seen the part 2 part of this chapter, reaching the age of adolescence, and that we have seen about reproductive phases and secondary sexual characters, isn't it? So this is the third part of this chapter. In this video we can see about hormones other than sex hormone. So in the last video we have seen there is sex hormone secreted by human reproductive organ. So in male, testosterone is the hormone which is secreted by testes, and in female ovaries it will secrete the hormone called estrogen, isn't it children? So now we can see in this video briefly about hormones other than sex hormone. So sex hormone are not the only hormones which is responsible for changes during adolescence. There are few other hormones which will act back of this hormone. So here is the endocrine glands present in the human body. So what is meant by these endocrine glands? These are the glands which produce certain hormones which is important for the development and proper functioning of the human body. Okay, so let's see first about the endocrine glands. So about this endocrine glands you will learn briefly in your higher classes. Okay, so now we can see just what are the endocrine glands present in the human body. First one is pituitary gland. Okay, next one is thyroid gland, then adrenal gland, pancreas, then ovary, testes. Okay, so these are called as endocrine glands in the human body. So what are the endocrine glands in the human body, children? Pituitary gland, thyroid gland, adrenal gland, pancreas, then ovary, testes. Now first we can see about the thyroxine. So thyroxine is the hormone which is released by the endocrine gland called thyroid gland, and it is present in the front part of the neck. Okay, so thyroxine is the hormone which is released by the thyroid gland, and it is present in the front part of the neck. In case of improper function of thyroxine, if it is not secreted properly in our body, it leads to the swelling of a throat. That is, the disease is called as goiter. So here you can see the person who is having the swollen neck. So this is due to the improper secretion of thyroxine. Okay, so improper secretion of thyroxine by thyroid gland in our body result in a disease called goiter. That is, we can see that by seeing the swelling of the thread. Okay, so we can see that disease symptoms as a swelling of the throat. Now insulin. Insulin is the one more hormone which is responsible for controlling the sugar level in our body. So in our body, sugar level is controlled by the secretion of hormone called insulin. Okay, so this hormone is secreted by the endocrine gland called pancreas. Okay, so the endocrine gland called pancreas, it is secreting the hormone called insulin, which is responsible for controlling the sugar level in our body. Okay, so which is the hormone controlling the sugar level in our body, children? Insulin. Okay, so this hormone is secreted by the endocrine gland called pancreas. Okay, so if insulin is not secreted properly, what will happen? If insulin is not secreted properly, then blood sugar level will increase and result in a condition called diabetes. Okay, so if the insulin hormone is not secreted by pancreas, then blood sugar level will increase and result in a condition called diabetes. Now third hormone, that is adrenaline. Adrenaline is released from a pair of adrenal glands at the top of the kidneys. So we have seen the position of adrenal glands as, so it is at the top of the kidney, and the adrenal gland will release hormone called adrenaline. This adrenaline hormone is also called as fight flight hormone. Okay, so it is also known as fight flight hormone. Why it is known as fight flight hormone? Because it is helpful for the emergency purpose. Okay, so what is the function of the adrenaline hormone? It will maintain the salt balance in the blood. Okay, so it is also known as what, emergency hormone. So it helps the body to adjust the stress when one is very angry or worried or embraced. Okay, so adrenaline is called as the fight flight hormone, and it is also known as hormone of emergency because it helps in balancing the salt level in blood. Not only that, it helps the body to adjust to stress when one is very angry or embraced or worried. So these thyroid and adrenals, they will secrete their hormone when they receive orders from the pituitary gland through its hormone. So pituitary gland, you know, it is the master gland which will control the secretion of all other hormones. Okay, so we have seen in the last part of the video that sex hormone also controlled by the pituitary gland. Not only sex hormone, all the hormones which is secreted by the endocrine glands is controlled by pituitary gland. Now pituitary gland also secrete the growth hormone which is necessary for the normal growth of a person. Okay, so pituitary glands is also, it will also secrete the growth hormone which is necessary for the normal growth of a person. Now let's see about sex determination, whether the sex of the baby is boy or girl. How we can determine. Okay, inside the fertilized ovum or fertilized egg is the instruction for determining the sex of the baby. This instruction is called the thread-like structure called chromosome. Okay, in the fertilized egg. Okay, inside the fertilized egg, there is a thread-like structure that is called chromosome, which will determine the sex of the baby. Okay, understood, children? So fertilized egg or zygote, it contains the thread-like structure which is called as chromosome. It will determine the sex of the baby. Okay, so chromosome is determining the sex of the baby. Okay, so now let's see how the sex will be determined in the human, whether boy or girl. Okay, now in human being, normally a cell has 46 chromosome. Okay, a cell has 46 chromosome, and in the cell there will be a 46 chromosome, that is 23 pairs of chromosome. How many chromosomes? 23 pairs of chromosome. Okay, all human beings have 23 pairs of chromosome in their cell. Okay, in this, out of these 46 chromosome, 22 pairs are identical. Identical means similar. Okay, so 22 pairs of chromosome, that is how many 44 chromosomes are identical, similar. Okay, and remaining 2 chromosome are the 23rd chromosome, 23rd pair chromosome is same or different. Okay, so that chromosomes are called as sex chromosome. Okay, so in human being, all human being, there is 23 pairs of chromosome. In that, 2 chromosome out of these 46 chromosomes, two chromosomes are the sex chromosomes. Okay, they may be different or same. Let's see about that. So there are two kinds of chromosome in 23rd pair. Okay, they are known as X and Y chromosome. Okay, so the last pair in a male means if they are male. Okay, male means then the last pair of chromosome will be XY. Okay, in case of female, it has XX chromosome. Okay, so the last pair of chromosome in male is XY and in female is XX. Okay, and here you can see the diagrammatic representation how the sex will be determined. Now let's see. So, birth of girl will take place when a sperm with X chromosome fertilizes the egg. So, you know, male contain two chromosomes as X and Y. Okay, so birth of girl will take place if the X chromosome of the mother and X chromosome of father combine. This result in the birth of girl baby. Okay, birth of girl baby will take place when the X chromosome of mother combine with the X chromosome of father. And how the birth of boy will take place when the Y chromosome of the father combine with the X chromosome of the mother, it forms XY chromosome, which is result in the birth of boy. Okay, so the sex is determined by the father, or sex is determined by the male chromosome. Okay, so when because female have only one same chromosome, that is XX chromosome, but in male only having XY chromosome. Yes, so when the X chromosome of the male combine with the X chromosome of female, it forms a birth of girl. It gives a birth of girl baby. And if X chromosome of female combines with the Y chromosome of the male, it forms a it forms the boy baby. Okay, so this is about sex determination. Now let's see about role of hormones in completing the life history of insects and frogs. Okay, role of hormones in completing the life history of insects and frogs. You have already learned about the life history of silk moth and frog. Yes, so the caterpillar has to pass through various stages to become an adult moth. Yes, so the lifespan of insects can be categorized into 4 stages. What are they? Egg, larva, pupa and adult. Okay, so the lifespan of insects can be categorized into 4 stages. What are they? Egg, larva, pupa and adult. Yes, so these changes from larva to an adult is called as metamorphosis. Okay, so what is meant by metamorphosis? The change of insect from larva stage to an adult stage is called as metamorphosis. And hormones in insects control the metamorphosis in insects is controlled by insect hormones. Okay, so metamorphosis is controlled by the insect hormones. So in frog, okay, in frog, you know, in a frog it is controlled by the hormone called thyroxine, which is produced by thyroid gland. Okay, and thyroxine production requires the presence of iodine water. So if the water in which the tadpoles are growing does not contain sufficient iodine, the tadpoles cannot become adults. Okay, so understood, children? So metamorphosis means change of insect from larva to an adult. Okay, and this metamorphosis that is the change of insect from larva stage to an adult is controlled by the hormones. And in frog, thyroxine is the hormone produced by the thyroid gland, and this thyroxine production requires the presence of iodine water. If the water does not contain the iodine, then the tadpole, that means the frog stages, tadpole become an adult. Yes, so if the iodine content is not sufficient in water, then the tadpoles cannot become adult. Okay, children, understood, children? Now let's see about the reproductive health. Okay, so physical and mental well-being of an individual is regarded as an individual's health. Okay, so to keep the body healthy, every human being at any age needs to have a balanced diet. Okay, first thing is to keep the body healthy, every human being, they should have a balanced diet. The person must also observe personal hygiene and undertake adequate physical exercise. Okay, during adolescence, this reproductive health is very essential or very important because the body is growing. Yes, first one is balanced diet. During the adolescent stage, there is a need of proper balanced diet. Okay, so the diet for an adolescent has to be carefully planned. Okay, so what is mean by balanced diet? Balanced diet means it should contain proper amount of carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamins and minerals. Okay, if the food contains proper amount of carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamins and minerals, then we can say it is a balanced diet. Yes, our Indian meal such as roti or rice or dal and vegetables is a balanced meal. Okay, and milk is a balanced food. Then fruit also provide nutrition for us. And for children or for infants or for small kids, mother's milk will provide all the nutrients that they need. Then iron is the mineral which build blood. So in the previous class you have learned about this. Yes, iron rich foods such as leafy vegetable, jaggery, meat, citrus, Indian gooseberry are good for adolescents. Okay, so children, you have to take these iron rich foods such as leafy vegetables, jaggery, meat, citrus, Indian gooseberry in your food. Okay, and cereals such as rice items which will give energy, and milk, meat, nuts, pulses, they will provide proteins for our growth. Okay, and now chips and packed or tinned snacks, we are all very much interested to eat snacks. Yes, so these chips and packed tinned snacks is very tasty, but it will not give any nutritional value. So we should not have more snacks items. Okay, so we should have a nutritious items of food in our body which will maintain good health for us. Okay, next thing is what? Personal hygiene. Okay, many physical and psychological changes will observe during adolescence, so that if good hygiene is not undertaken, it may result in skin disease. Okay, so if cleanliness is not maintained, there will be a chance of getting skin disease and bacterial infection. Especially girls should take care of cleanliness during the time of menstrual period. Okay, they should keep track of their menstrual cycle and prepare for the onset of menstruation. Okay, so use sanitary napkin or clean homemade pads. Change pads after every 4 to 5 hours as per the requirement, so that you should maintain the proper cleanliness. We can avoid the skin disease or bacterial infections by maintaining a personal hygiene. Then next one is physical exercise. So physical exercise not only helps in making a strong body, but also help in proper energy utilization. Okay, so how we can maintain good health? By the physical exercise. So you can walk, you can play in fresh air, which keeps the body fit and healthy. Okay, so all young boys and girls should take walks, exercise, and play outdoor games, okay, which makes our body fit and healthy. Now next one is just you have to say no to drugs. Okay, so adolescence, it is the period of activity, much activity in the body, and not only in the body, it also the period which will cause many changes in our mind. Okay, which is the normal part of growing up. So do not feel confused. Okay, if anybody suggests that you will get relief if you take some drugs, just say no. Okay, so if the drugs is prescribed by the doctor, we can take, unless we should not take drugs. Okay, so adolescence, it is the stage, it is the normal part which will occur during the growing period. Okay, so we should not feel confused or insecure during that period. And if anyone suggests you to get relief, you should not take what drugs. Okay, drugs are addictive. If you take them once, you feel like taking them again and again. Okay, so this drugs will harm the body, and it is dangerous to health, and it will spoil our happiness. Okay, so we should say no to drugs. Now you must have heard about AIDS. Yes. So AIDS is what is the full form of AIDS, children? Acquired immunodeficiency disease. Okay. So what is the full form of AIDS? Acquired immunodeficiency. So acquired immunodeficiency or AIDS is the disease which is caused by the dangerous virus called HIV. So what is the full form of HIV? Human immunodeficiency virus. Okay, so AIDS is the disease which is caused by a dangerous virus called HIV, and this virus can pass to a normal person from an infected person by sharing the syringes used for injecting drugs. Okay, so the by if the from the infected person, if this virus can be transmitted, this virus can be transmitted from an infected person to the normal person by sharing the syringes used for injecting drugs. Okay, so in hospital, they will use what injections to yes, they will use syringes to give injections. Yes, so through that they will what inject the medicines which is required for our body. Yes, so if they are using the same syringe which is used for the infected person to the normal person, it will spread the particular AIDS disease. Okay, it can also transmitted to an infant, or that means the child mm, who is in the womb of its mother. It can also be transmitted to an infant from the infected mother through her milk. Okay, so newborn babies, they will get nourishment with the what mother's milk. Yes, so if the mother is having HIV, then with through her milk, it can be transmitted to an infant. Okay, the virus can also be transmitted through sexual contact. Okay, so if the person who is infected with the HIV is having the sexual contact with the normal person, it will spread to that normal person, and that person also will be affected by the same AIDS disease. Okay, so this is about human immunodeficiency virus. So it's very important to maintain what physical and mental well-being of an individual, and it's very important to keep the body healthy. So every human being at any stage, we should have a balanced diet, we should maintain the personal hygiene, then we should undertake adequate physical exercise, we should say no to drugs, and we should be very careful. Only preventive way to avoid the AIDS is to keep away from this dangerous disease. Okay, so I hope that you have understand about this chapter. If you have any doubt, you can ask children. Thank you.